Okay, that's better. Sorry about that, y'all. Y'all know I usually start my intros a lot faster, but this your boy God by 2009. Got another one for y'all today. Excuse me. I don't know if I know everybody gonna be running around doing what they do this weekend, but I'm gonna give y'all something new, something to enjoy, and depends on how y'all like it. I'll keep it up, whatever. But I just wanted to do something for y'all. But I appreciate all the love. Y'all make sure y'all come in into the chat. Please make sure you like the video. I appreciate the love. And this is going to be called the pooper stage. And I know it's a weird name, but if you don't know what the pooper stage is in nature, it's the stage where the caterpillar is basically busting out of the cocoon or whatever, or evolving out of the cocoon in that metamorphosis stage where it goes into the butterfly mode. And I thought this would be perfect for to explain the Scorpio, because we are just like that, because we go into that exact phase. And I'm gonna make it clear for y'all, but I'm gonna get everything set up, and y'all just make sure y'all like the video as y'all enter the chat. I appreciate it. I'm gonna go into deep detail with this. Y'all just make sure y'all like, give me a chance to set everything up like I usually do. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend, and I appreciate all the love. Thank you, all my new subscribers. If you're not subscribed already, please make sure you subscribe. Let me see. Is this better? I be trying to make this. Because I know sometimes these lights can be crazy. Because I really felt like going into this particular topic, because a lot of times people think, oh, Scorpios, they stay in their mode or whatever behavior they have, that's what they always gonna have. A lot of people ask me all the time, when is this phase when they go into the ego phase? How can I tell what type of mood he is? What's going on with the Scorpio man? Or why is he behaving like this? Or why do y'all become so secluded? Why do y'all have certain behaviors? And this video will explain certain stages in more detail. So y'all just give me a second. Y'all let me know if everything clear. Y'all let me know if y'all can see me and everything. I'm just trying to get everything set up right. A little time to come in. I'm gonna make sure I read everybody's comments and everything. but I'm gonna go ahead and get into this while I wait for this low computer to start. But this one's gonna be all about the pupa stage of the Scorpio, and what I mean by the pupa stage is usually this is the stage in terms where the caterpillar goes into the cocoon stage, and then the caterpillar becomes the butterfly. And I thought this would be perfect for the Scorpio because it explains our stage as well, because we go into the almost these same transformation. We go into almost the same seclusion. We go into the same steps. So trying to work this out for y'all. Give me a second. It's always when you really ready to do something, it's always something trying to get in the way, but I'm gonna still knock it out for y'all regardless. But I'm gonna try to see if I can get it one more time because I really wanna be able to follow along and read your comments and stuff. So y'all give me a second. Okay, hopefully it eventually pop up. But if y'all can't see me, I apologize. And I'll make sure I read your comments. I'm gonna have to follow along in a different way. Hopefully it'll pop up eventually. But this thing is acting real slow today. But when one thing about us is when we usually go through these stages is I don't know if y'all can still see me, but if y'all can, I apologize. One thing when we going through these stages is you got to realize that the Scorpio man, we will start becoming, he will have certain behaviors. Maybe when you first meet him, you know what I'm saying? Maybe, he might be a little bit more secluded. He might be, more irritable. What I mean by irritable, some people that might not know what that means. If he start becoming more angry, start becoming more to those modes where he seclude himself, modes where Scorpio men are harder to reach, and a lot of these times it's not because of any particular anger or any particular thing personally against that person. He's going through a certain metamorphosis stages, and usually the people that Scorpio man we usually keep around us is people that have those characteristic traits, people that have that loyalty, which I'm always telling you about. Women that have that loyalty, that have that patience, that have that understanding, because you got to be a person of in-depth understanding. You got to be the type of person that really cares about the man. It's gonna really put a trying test to your relationship, because it's very hard for the average person to understand, because you know people expect people to be, a lot of people are used to having certain men they date, or certain people they date, to be one dimensional. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand when this, even though he might seem a certain way at first, even if it's good, he might not particularly been on the lizard stage. He might not necessarily been that stereotypical Scorpio where he's always getting mad, or he's in a dark mood. He might already been on the Phoenix level, or already on the ego level when you met him. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that he's not going to go into certain modes, go into certain transformation, because you got to understand when you're dealing with us, we're always transforming. We always searching for our higher self. We always trying to better ourselves. We always trying to build our strength in every way possible. So at certain times we go into these modes. Matter of fact, okay, I'm finally get this straight, y'all. Y'all know how this stuff goes. Sometimes it's so technical. That's why I tell y'all to support your boy, because I do put a lot of work and put a lot of time into this. I really appreciate all the love, and those of you who do understand, support me. I really appreciate it. One thing you got to understand is a lot of times he will go into a certain mode where he start becoming irritable at times, even during the transformation mode, even if he's a higher level, more evolved Scorpio man. And I say this because a lot of women be like, he was doing fine and everything was going good, but at the same time, if he's going through a metamorphosis stage, he's going through constant changes. He's fighting against his lower self. He's fighting against people that he hung out with during his lower self. He's fighting against habits he had during his older self. Y'all make sure y'all like and hit that like button as y'all enter too. Y'all don't don't cheat me like that. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. He's going through many different changes, and a lot of this time is extremely hard for us to know. I know he knows I love him. I always support him. I'm always there with him. Why would he second guess my love, second guess me supporting him doing anything he's going through? It doesn't have nothing to do with him second guessing. It's about having, it's about it's more of an internal battle, and the external battle, because he has to, he's basically going through a whole transformation, just like a caterpillar goes when they go into cocoon. Because a lot of people think, oh, because you in the cocoon, they think, oh, the caterpillar is all warm, he's just going to sleep and nothing's happening. He just busts out in a but he becomes a butterfly. No, he has to go through all types of different changes. He has to go through all types of turmoil. He has to go through all types of growing pains. And this is the type of thing that Scorpio has to go through doing this metamorphosis, because in order for us to be the man that the person wants us to be, in order for us to be the Scorpio that a lot of individuals want us to see, is whether it's that high vibrational, whether it's the eagle or whether it's the phoenix. It's a lot of stuff that we have to go through, because one thing about us is, one thing about us as people, when we start getting used to a certain thing and being a certain way and having certain habits and saying certain things or looking at certain things, we as people, we start getting to a point where we become stagnated, where whether it's mentally, whether it's spiritually or whatever. But one thing about Scorpio is, if he's at a point of stagnation, whether it's one or the other, even if it seems like it's very small, he will get to the point where he will become frustrated. He will become conflicted. We will become angry, because we always trying to grow. We're not the type of individuals that are satisfied with the bottom tier, are satisfied with the bottom of the barrel, so to say, of things, whether it's our relationships, our drive for towards our destiny, for towards our goals. What I'm saying? You got to understand, even if he seems like he's satisfied with a certain place, even if he has a calm demeanor at certain times, you got to understand that is he could be in the cocoon stage of his Scorpio change, because we just like a cocoon, it seemed calm, it seemed cool, it seemed like it's not moving, but at the same time it's a lot of turmoil, it's a lot of stuff going on, it's a lot of thoughts and ideas coming through his head, it's a lot of battles going on, it's a lot of changes that he's trying to make towards himself. So a lot of times we will seclude ourselves if we feel like we can't, if we feel like we're not the, being the strong person, we're not at a strong state where we can be around that person, we can't be the best individual that we can be. We feel like we're not at a certain place in our spirit, or a certain place in our mental stability where everything is cool, he will start becoming more angry, because it's like he's battling, he's trying to bust into a new shell, into a new body. He's trying to change into a whole different man. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times the people around us don't understand that we're constantly changing, that we're not these type of individuals that stay the same. We're not these type of individuals that are one dimensional. We're not the type of person that stay the same. We, even though people say, oh, they're fixed and you know they like this and that. No, we're not those type of people that you can guess, because we're always constantly changing. Let me see. Oh yeah, and make sure y'all like my. If y'all haven't watched my last couple of videos, y'all make sure y'all like that also. And I'm gonna make sure I put all my stuff in. I'm about to read your comments and get all that good stuff. I'm just wanting to get into the video a little bit because I appreciate y'all coming in, and I know how short the attention span is. You know, one thing about watching me, when y'all watch me and understand my channel or whatever, y'all got to realize, you got to listen. You got to really, sometimes you got to watch it 2 or 3 times, because you will always pick up something. You can't be a type of individual to be around a Scorpio that has a short attention span. You can't be a type of person that has a short patience, because whatever you expecting back from that Scorpio male, you have to show in the same format. You can't be, you know, impatient and mean 1 minute and then expect the Scorpio to take it all in calmly. Even if he takes it all in calmly, this is where a lot of the struggles and a lot of the disputes happen. Where I see with a lot of couples, it's like, just because he's calm and he's taking in what you're saying for a second, don't get to the point where you start becoming, belligerent with him. Don't get to the point where you start thinking, oh, this is his set personality, or oh, just because you think y'all become close and y'all have a certain understanding, don't get to the point where you start becoming reckless, because you don't know where he's at. And even, I'm not saying it's right or wrong how he reacts to, certain problems coming up or certain things coming up in a relationship, but don't expect for him to be in a certain type of mood, because you don't know where he's at. If he's in the mood where he's changing and he's growing, he's going to try to react with little to no emotion. He will go into a point of more recluse and quiet before he responds to you, not because he's weak or because he's soft tone. It's because he's going through that metamorphosis stage where, instead of going crazy, instead of acting like a wild maniac, instead of blowing a fuse, we learn to patiently deal with things. We learn to take things in. We start to learn more and more about our female counterparts, and we try. When we in that stage and come out that stage, we are learning. When he's in this stage, he's learning. He's trying to figure out, okay, what's the best way for me to approach my relationship? What's the best, if he has kids, he's gonna be wondering, like, what's the best way for me to approach, raising my kids? What's the best way for me to be, in order for to go this route, in order for to be the best father, in order for to be the best son, in order for to be the best student? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times we will go into a quiet mode in order to get things established, in order to get our mindset straight. It's not because he's angry or because he hates you all the time. A lot of times it's because he's going through a change. He's going through a battle, you know, and that's when we need you the most. When we're the most misunderstood, is, that's when we need our partner the most. When things are going, tough, that's when he's going to need you the most. He's not going to just need you, like even though this is ABC type of knowledge, like, a lot of people don't understand that he's not going to just need you during a wonderful stage, when the sun is shining bright, when the love is good, when the coffee is hot. It's easy for everybody to smile, but the thing that's going to separate you from any other woman in the Scorpio light, that Scorpio has ever been with, is your loyalty, is your patience, is your understanding of him. You know what I'm saying? Because in order for you to get closer to the Scorpio, in order for him to have a certain love for you, you have to get to know him. And that's what a lot of females understand, because I get a lot of, you know um I get a lot of y'all questions and stuff, and y'all ask me, you know, he he told me he liked me and stuff, and he disappeared, or he doesn't show that this much love or whatever. Is he's going. And one thing you got to understand is, we're not the type. We're not these. Like I keep telling y'all, and I will keep telling y'all, like, we're not these serial daters. We're not the man that's going to be thirsty for a glass of water. Like I told somebody, I had somebody laughing. Like, we're not the man that's going to need a. We're not thirsty for a glass of water type of man. You know what I'm saying? We the type of man. We'll dive dehydration before we drink water out of being desperate. Before we try to beg for a glass of water, we'll wait for the we don't beg. He's not going to be that type of man. He's not going to be that man that's going to come off in any type of way of being needy or desperate. If he loves you, he will show you he cares. We will show you a lot. We will show you strong emotion and passion. And sometimes even you could say he might be right up under you. He might be real close to you. But at the same time, you got to understand that he's not. He don't do that with everybody. We don't get close to everybody like that. We don't build bonds with people for no reason. So even if you feel like you that things are not going a certain way, or a certain speed, you got to understand that it's not because of anything bad. It's not because he don't care about you, not because he don't love you. It's because he's filling you out. He's trying to see, are you loyal? Are you trustworthy? Are you patient? Are you the type to jump to conclusions? Are you the type to get angry over small stuff? Are you the type that's going to support him in his worst times and his best times? Because we're not the type that's going to look for the woman during the good times. That's not the times he's going to really be observing you. I mean, he's really going to be observing you when things are rough and when things are when the sun is not shining so bright. That's the type. That's when he's going to be observing you, especially during our stages when we're in the cocoon. That's the time where we are staying to ourselves, not because we don't want to be around people, because we're trying to have a. It's almost like he's want like an uninterrupted meditation, an uninterrupted moment of silence in order to build ourselves, in order to figure out where we are. Because one thing about Scorpio is we always contemplate. We're always trying to find out, where we stand. We're trying to always find out the what's the next step. We always constantly thinking about the future. We're not the type of individuals that just get stuck in the now, are stuck with what happened yesterday. We're the type of individuals that's going to really um, look towards the future. We're always trying to build. We're always trying to figure things out. That's why it's hard for people to understand this hard. That's why it's hard for people to see where we're coming from, because we're always thinking. And there's nothing wrong with thinking, but the thing that gets us in trouble a lot of times is that we don't, because we're so introverted, because we're so silent. A lot of people take it for us being angry, or a lot of people take it for us being, stubborn, or going to our one of our moods. But a lot of times is we're just trying to build ourselves. We're trying to figure out things. We're trying to figure if that person is there for us. Because if a person gets frustrated with you over small stuff and leave you in a quick second in the first 2 months, they blow off over something crazy and go wild on you after the first 2 hours, 2 days. We already done read you like a book. You know what I'm saying? That's how he's looking at you. In the first, you got to understand, the first couple of weeks, our first 2 3 months of meeting the Scorpio, you just entering the trial uh arena. You know what I'm saying? Because I told you, like I said, the Scorpio man, we have an old soul. We have an old school way of looking at things. We have an old school way of operating. And a lot of people don't understand that we not moving fast just to be moving fast, just to make things look good, or make things look like they're moving towards a certain direction. We the type of individuals that's gonna take our time and make sure things are settled, especially when we're serious about somebody. Let me see what's going on. Y'all make sure y'all like as y'all enter the chat. Let me see who up in here. Hey, Karen R. Hey, Rena. Hey, Janisa loves pink. Hey, Sky 11 Hook. Hey, Aki, Akisha, Acacia. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Hey, Sky 11 Hook. Hey, Lana. Hey, Lana, 3445. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for the compliment. You said you like my jacket. Uh, you look glowing as usual. Thank you so much because, like I told you, I'm coming out the pooper stage. And like I said, for those who just come in the video, the pooper stage is nothing more than the caterpillar, the butterfly, the caterpillar turning to the cocoon and busting out the cocoon into the butterfly mode. But at the same time, people got to understand what is going on during these stages. What's going on, Wayne Jasper? What's going on, Deb Angela? What's going on, Sasha Rosa? What's going on, High Vibes? I just joined. I was in meditation and I missed the notification. I could feel my divine masculine Scorpio 10th flame coming out of the cocoon. I could feel him getting ready to come home. Absolutely. Hey, Michelle. Thank you so much again, Sky 11 Hook. Hey, Michelle Longhorn. Hey, Brittany John. What's going on, KL? What's going on, True King? I'm so hot. I don't know how to handle it. Let me see. What you say? I might have missed something. I'm so hot. I don't know how to handle it. Oh, don't know how to handle what? I think I missed that. And but yeah, because a lot of times during my cocoon stages, like I would go into points in time where I would seem like I was angry, or I would get angry because not because I was technically mad at my partner or mad at anybody around me, but at the time I was trying to figure things out. I was trying to, clear things out because a lot of times people just don't understand us. People don't get us. People think we just one of these type of people that want to stay the same way or going to be the same way. Just because we're always changing, we're always trying to get to the to a place where we can be that man, where we can be the person that you can understand. When he comes out of this mode, he's going to be the type that's going to be ready to talk to you. He's going to be in talking mode. He's going to be the trying to figure you out. He's going to be more engaging. You know what I'm saying? When we're in our cocoon mode, we're trying to figure out how to find our voice. We're trying to figure out how we're going to impact the world, so to say. Like before I started speaking and doing videos or even trying to speak out to anything or draw or whatever, I had to go through a cocoon stage where, I was trying, and it's like we have so much energy, we have a whole lot of, when you're dealing with Scorpio, man, we got a tremendous amount of energy. And one thing about us, if it's not organized or if it's not transfer in the right direction, during the pooper stage where we're trying to evolve our find, you know, something that we can align ourselves with, align our talent with, align our energy with, it's extremely hard. That's to the point where he's going to start becoming more unpredictable, more uncontrollable, or have certain habits that are a waste of time, or have certain energies, certain aggravation, because he don't have nothing to do with all that energy. You know what I'm saying? Because he hasn't found his voice. You know what I'm saying? Because when the Scorpio is just really, really silent, doesn't mean that he's always gonna, be in the cocoon stage. But at certain times when he's going to a deep transformation, a lot of times we will disappear or we will come off in certain directions because if the person doesn't understand us, it does become frustrating because you know how we are as people. If we can't figure something out, we can't pinpoint it out like reading a book. We become mad. We want to ask a bunch of questions. We want a bunch of explanations. You cannot do that during his transformation stage because it's only going to become it's going to seem like you're trying to be irritating. It's going to become like you're trying to you don't really care about what's going on with him personally. You only care about how you're impacted by what he's doing. You got to be type of individual that take that, point of maturity and understand, that he's constantly growing, that he's constantly going to become a better person. You just have to water it. You know what I'm saying? That you got to understand he's just like a plant. He's constantly growing, he's constantly changing, but we do go through stages where we disappear. We do go through stages where we rethink things, and if you're not the type of person that shows that, he's going to show it through his actions. He's not going to badger you. He's not going to fuss at you, especially if he's at a more evolved stage. He's not going to do any of that. He's going to back away from you because we already know that what certain things lead to. You know what I'm saying? When people don't understand, we know what misunderstandings lead to. And he's not going to do it to a woman that's respectful, that's loving, that's loyal and trustworthy towards him. He's going to become dark and more agitated and more irritated when the person is when you. Oh yeah, let me mention this before I go forward. When you're dealing with us, you got to understand, especially in the first couple of days or in the first couple of weeks or months, where you got to understand he is paying attention. I don't care if you think he's in 100 other places. I don't care if he don't answer none of your phone calls. I don't care if he texts you one time a day. He's watching you, whether you realize it or not. He is watching you. He is listening to you. He's paying attention to every single detail. When you talk to us, even if we seem like our face is stern and in another world and we're blanking out, we're listening to everything you're saying. Not only he's listening to everything you're saying, he's listening to how you're saying it. And one thing about us is when you tell us something, we take your word from it, especially if we love you and we trust and you in our circle. You got to understand, we take your word as true because the same way we take your word as the truth and as concrete, that's the same way we're going to hold our word to you because that's the way we are. That's why a lot of times when you can't tell a Scorpio, hey, I'm gonna be here at 7 and don't get there till 8:30, get there even 20 minutes late. It's like we all you tell us so much about you, you know what I'm saying? At certain times because you gotta understand we take things not because he's trying to be over the top, not because he's trying to be you know, schedule everything. Is because we take everything you say seriously. You got to understand when you build that trust with us, it's strong, it's real. But when you break that trust, it's hard to repair that. You know what I'm saying? And when you talk to us, you got to understand during these stages that we listen to every detail. Like you know how some people just talk and they say certain things and they give you a couple of low blows or they smack you in the back of the head verbally, but at the same time they think you know it's going over your head or it's not hitting you. You got to understand when you hear that, when you say something of disrespect, when you say something to hurt him, it's going to hit right here. It's going to hit directly right here. That's why we react in certain ways. He will get into a point of so much rage where he will react in two ways. Either he will really go off and not talk to you, or he will go into a complete moment of silence and he will really he just disappear. He won't give you no warning. He won't give you anything because you have crossed so many lines. You got to the point where you cross so many lines. He's not trying. He's no it's no way that you can repair it because one thing about us is we have a even though we have a stern way and a blunt tongue and whatever people might say we have, it's like we are very careful how we display our feelings and our emotions to our partner, even if we want to say certain things or have certain things that we know that everything is not necessarily need to come out. Everything that pops up in our head doesn't need to come out, and that's why a lot of times we don't hang with just anybody because a lot of people, they even if they relate to you or whatever, even if you just know them for a second, a lot of people don't know boundaries. A lot of people don't know how to communicate. A lot of people don't know how to build, friendships and bonds that last forever. They used to temporary things. They used to goofing off. They used to be in a non-serious situation. I was in a cocoon for a while. That is the Scorpio trait for transformation. Scorpios don't fight the inevitable. No, he's not going to fight the inevitable. You know what I'm saying? That's absolutely true. That's why you call it True King. You got a perfect name. That's why we go into a lot of seclusions. That's why a lot of times, even when something is terribly wrong, you won't hear from them because we know it's certain things that is inevitable. Certain things are unfixable. But at the same time, when we come out of our cocoon stage, and I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna reverse it. If he's at the point where he's done a lot of wrong, as if he's at the point where we feel like it's a lot of things we should have did a different way, a lot of things we should have fixed, that's going to come out during the cocoon mode when we come out of that pooper stage, because we at that time we evaluated ourselves, we evaluated, everything, we evaluated how we handled certain things, how, what could have came out better, how we could have did certain things. you know he will come out being in more of a light mood. He will come out being have a certain apologetic, presence. But it has to be because you deserve that apology. It's not going to be because you he was you wasn't wrong and he's just trying, you know, he wasn't wrong and he's just trying to get on your good side. If a Scorpio apologized to you, it's because we seriously did something that was wrong. Let me see. Make sure. Let me see. Y'all make sure y'all like y'all as y'all enter. I appreciate the ones that do come in. A lot of people understand the God body. A lot of people don't. You know what I mean? But I understand there will always be a square of people that will understand me, that will understand the God body channel, that will understand what I'm breaking down to y'all. And that's what matters to me. You know what I'm saying? It matters that the people that are trying to understand do understand. Even if the ones that don't understand, they're trying to understand, I will break it down. I don't care how long it takes. If a person is sincere with the Scorpio, you're gonna always get a sincere approach. If you if you're not being sincere, if you have an ego, if you're the type of person that not gonna look him square in the eyes, you try to talk down to him, be disrespectful, it's not gonna be tolerated. He's not that type of man. He's not a guppy in the ocean. You got to understand, you talking to a full grown whale. When you talking to a Scorpio, you talking to a shark. You know what I'm saying? You talking to an electric eel. You're not talking to the guppies. You're not talking to a goldfish. A lot of people are used to dealing with the goldfish that's gonna just squawk around and just flap. You know how when you take the goldfish out and put it on some dry land, just flap around. Nah, if you take us out of the water, we gonna try to take a chunk out of your leg. If you try to ruffle our gills, you're gonna put yourself in harm's way. We're not the type that you can just pick your finger in the water and think and just mess with the fish until you kill it. No, you put the fingers in our water, you might get your whole arm bit off if you're not welcome. And this is how it is during our stages. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand that we trying to overcome all our low vibrational behaviors when we're in the cocoon stage. Like I was at one point where I used to really have a real extreme rage, and I would really be ready to throw hands and do whatever it took. But I realized that being more intellectual, being more spiritual, being more patient, you end up doing more than what you could have did just taking a swing or getting into some type of confrontation where you wasting energy. You stooping down to a lower vibration, and you really not doing anything to add to your life. You're not learning anything. You're not really going forward. You know what I'm saying? You being pushed back. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're trying to climb up that mountain, there's always going to be people that's going to try to snatch you back down. Just because. And a lot of times, a lot of Scorpios get caught up in that because we get, during our cocoon stage, during the low vibrational lizard stage, a Scorpio man can be easily distracted. You know what I'm saying? Because, we're still young, we're still trying to focus our nerves and things like that. So we get distracted by stuff that people do. But during our ego stages and during the Phoenix stage of a Scorpio, that's when we're able to, you know, uh, ignore stuff that's beyond, us responding to. That's when we get to the point where we turn away before we respond. I get angry. That's to the point where we don't try to we're not as quiet. That's you just get to the point where it's gonna be more like God body. He's gonna be ready to teach people. He's gonna be ready to build people. Like a lot of Scorpios doing our ego stage and the Phoenix stages, you'll see a lot of Scorpios being teachers. A lot of them being might be teaching karate classes, might be a football coach, he might be a professor. he might be a lieutenant. You know what I'm saying? He might be the head of his office or whatever. He's going to do something where it's going to determine. He's going to have to teach. He's going to have to, he's going to have to develop. He's going to have to build, because that's what we all about. We're trying to, when we in that high stages, we're trying to give back that energy. When you're in the lower vibrational stages, it's more of, it's not it's like we don't want to be bothered in the low vibrational stage. We don't feel like people we feel like people are everybody is one dimensional. We don't realize it's so many diversities of people, it's so many different colors and people. During our low vibrational stage, we only see black and white. You like, okay, this is the doofus section, this is the good section. You know what I'm saying? But it's more than just two sections of people. It's all different types of beautiful people and different colors of personalities and different characteristics. You know what I'm saying? So in this stage, we're trying to realize, we're trying to figure out how to be sociable. We're trying to figure out how to be that loving man, because during our lower vibrational stages, we have more of a cold personality. We're gonna be more cold hearted and more apprehensive to build with people, more apprehensive to really take that stand, take that step. Matter of fact, let me make sure I got everything. I know it's a Saturday, but I'm still happy to see everybody, whoever was able to come in. Thank you, Moraine. I appreciate the love. Hey, Serene Joy. Hey, Open Dimensions. Hey, Jay Bird. What's so funny, Open Dimension? Hey, Jay Bird. I appreciate the love. And I did put my links in. If you want to show some love, I appreciate it. I put my emails there if you want to email me. Um, it's a lot of, because it's certain things, it's certain emails I got that really made me want to make this video, because I felt there's so many pieces that I did miss. When we just because he might come off a certain way, he might seem like, oh, he's here and there. You got to understand that it's not because he doesn't love you. It's not because he's angry. You got to understand that when you're used to people being one way, when you're used to people being conniving, used to people being backstabbing, when you're used to being around jealous people, when you're used to being around people that's got it out for you, so to say, when you're used to having to be in a den full of lions, where you have to literally rip each other apart to eat, where you have to literally watch your back like you in the jungle. It gives you a certain personality trait. It gives you a certain dark edge. It gives you a certain shield that you build around yourself, because you don't know exactly what that person's going to do, because you so used to being by ourselves. We're so used to being secluded. We're so used to being unloved. We're used to being hated. We're used to being everybody's enemy. We used to being the scapegoat in everybody's troubles. So when we in that mode where when we learn to have to share with somebody, where we learn to have to, love somebody, it's like almost unbelievable for us, because it's hard to believe, because we dealt with so many toxic people. We had to run into so many obstacles. So if he takes some time to cling to you, take some time to embrace the love that you're giving. Don't be angry at him. Don't get an attitude. Don't become impatient with it, because you got to understand. It's just like, say for instance, because I know a lot of females like the animals and stuff. Say if you had a little kitten, or even a pet rabbit or something like that, or a little puppy. You know what I'm saying? When you pick them up, if you pick them up from the shelter, and the people in the shelter tell you, oh, this is a good dog, strong dog, purebred, everything, but he's came from an abusive situation. He's been abused and beaten by the previous owners. He's been put to, he had so many whatever. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to, that particular species is not going to be, he's not going to adapt to you. He's not going to just come up licking you in your face. He's not going to be this happy go lucky, species. He's not going to be, easy to deal with. He's not going to be able to trust y'all right away because he's used to being in abusive environments. He used to being neglected. He used to having the hardships that come with being a abused animal. It's almost the same thing. Like once we used to people, a female being a certain way. We used to her being cocky. We used to her being having a selfish edge. We used to her being loud, women being loudmouth. We used to women always swarming social media and putting their business out. We used to women, playing games and being bipolar. You got to be able to, be that different. You got to be different. You got to separate yourself from that in order to get our attention because we're used to seeing that. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of times the Scorpio be like, oh, how can he, be in this situation? I thought everything was good or whatever, and how he could just leave because we realize that if we don't take up for ourselves, especially if we're going through our worst situations, we realize that if a person is going to do that, one time, they're going to continue to do it. You know what I'm saying? We realize if we don't protect ourselves, nobody else is going to do it for us. We're going to be left to in the same format that we came out before. So you got to understand that he's not going to cling on to you right away in the first stages. Even if y'all hit it off, even if your first date was, you know, like fireworks. Even if you had a night with him, it was like fireworks and candlelight and romance. And the trust still has to be built. You got to understand that's good, and it's a good sign that he does care about you and that he is becoming close to you and he's very attracted to you. But the trust and the loyalty and the bond has to build first. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we're gonna try to figure you out. That's where he's trying. That's why you're at a standstill. If you feel like you at a certain standstill where you don't know where the direction your Scorpio is going, or why is he seem like he's at a standstill? Why can't he make up his mind? Oh, I've been with him for this moment, this period of time. Because we observe. You got to understand, we are observers, not just of our own situation in our life. We observe people around us, and if we see people that's known each other for 20 years that rip each other apart, we see people, you know, y'all excuse me. We see people try to, turn on each other. So we the type of people that we really want to see if this person is really there for us. Is this person really care for us? Because one thing about us is we show you in the beginning. If he's a low vibrational Scorpio, he will show you in the beginning. If he's high vibrational, he'll show you. But at the same time, don't mean he's going to be stuck in that same point. He's not going to be stuck in that same point unless he's just that type of individual that's not growing. Unless he's type of individual that's not wising up or not learning from his mistakes. Let me see what's going on here. Hey, KM. Polar opposites. The Scorpion ego, the ego Scorpio is the best. Yeah, that's right, Moraine. The Scorpio, I got interest went ghost on me. I've been patient. This is the second time, but every time I reach out, he's friendly. I don't know how to feel. I know if a Scorpio don't want to deal, he he won't, but he's always friendly, so I don't know how to feel. You get email me, Serene. You already know how I do this. You gotta make sure you email me and show me that love, donate and stuff. Because I definitely be able to help you because I know you got a more detailed situation. He's being fake, not friendly. Oh, that's why I said email me. You can't be a type of individual. That's what I'm saying. You can't be that type of individual. No, no harm to KM, but you can't listen to KM. You can't listen to the KMs out there and think you're gonna have a wonderful ride on your relationship. You listen to the KMs. You listen to your Miss Chatty Chat. You listen to the gossiping gooses. You listen to the chickens clacking. They gonna clack you right off a mountain. They gonna clack you right off right into the water. So you got to be a type person. You got to be in tune with him individually. You can't go by somebody. You can't go by a woman. You got if anything, you got to take it from a man, a Scorpio man himself. because I'm gonna tell you from a woman can't tell you a man's perspective. I can't tell you a woman's perspective. That's why sometimes y'all be like, you don't talk about the Scorpio woman. Yeah, you can't. It is a lot of stuff about the Scorpio woman. I always say the Scorpio woman, but at the same time, I do not try to put myself in a mind. I can't put you in a woman's mind all the time. I can't. I'm not a female, so I can't tell you everything that goes on with a female, but at the same time, I can tell you exactly what's going on with the Scorpio man. But if you listen to other people and you take advice, they're gonna give you the horrible advice. They're gonna give you the worst advice because it's a reason that he chose you. It's the reason that he's with you. It's the reason that he's attracted to you. So if you taking other people's mindsets, you taking other people's morals, taking other people's values, taking other people's characteristics, other people's bad advice, it's going to lead you in the worst direction. Please try to understand this man and get to know him and get him as an individual personally. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna lead you in the wrong direction. You got to be on the right track. You know, you got to have the right mindset. If you have that Western woman mentality where I know everything. I look good. I can do it. I'm in the bottom. You gonna find yourself by yourself. Are you gonna find yourself with a weaker man? Because I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of stuff that a lot of women bring nowadays is only gonna attract a weaker man, man of a lower vibration. If you looking for a man of high vibration, a man of standards, a man that's not gonna let you run him over, a man that's not gonna just tolerate anything, a man that's gonna tell you about yourself and be honest with you and be real with you and be honest with this, is the type of individual you need to be with. But if you want somebody that you can push around, or somebody that you could treat like a dog, and he's not going to say anything or not going to react anyway, this the wrong man for you, and that's just how it is. But if you're a type of woman that have that already, that maturity and all that mindset, you're gonna be able to understand him. You know, and I know some of you just coming in. I'm talking about the pooper stage, the caterpillar stage, coming out the cocoon. You know, all that good stuff. It's basically the evolution of the Scorpio man. I know I could have probably named it something else. Probably it's like being unique. Don't take what I said to heart. You have your own will of choice. Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's because at the same time, I can't say whether he's being friendly or whether he's being fake either. I can't say he's being friendly either because I can't say he's being fake because I don't know the situation. Because I know as a Scorpio man, you can't just take a notion and figure it out. You can't just go by something that you think it was or you thought it was or it might have been and think it's gonna fit into, the Scorpio man. This It's not gonna work like that. You definitely getting an email from me. Lord, this man is so clingy. Yeah, I hear that. I definitely hear that. Y'all let me know if y'all can see me. Everything good on y'all side? Let me know if y'all can still hear me and still see me. Let me see. Let me see. Hold on. Make sure I ain't missed nobody. Scorpio taught me patience and also not to take BS. Definitely learn not to take things so personally and become more into my power. Absolutely. One thing about us, you're gonna learn a lot when you're around us. You're gonna learn a lot about people. You're gonna learn a lot about circumstances. You're gonna learn a lot about, you know, things in his life because one thing about Scorpio, we always see the dark edge. And it's not because we necessarily want to, because people always say, "Oh, y'all always being a Scorpio, y'all just being Scorpio." No, it's like we don't even want to see it ourselves a lot of times. Even as a kid, I used to be like, why can't I just be an oblivious kid? Why can't I just not see anything that's going on around me? Why can't I just be a dumb, just be a goofy kid that's just running around playing? Why do I got to see? Why I know this guy's a drunk? Why I know these guys is doing this? Why I knew what was going on around me. I knew what was taking place. I knew exactly what was happening. I wasn't one of those kids like, oh, he's just doing that. I'm just gonna walk past him and just go play at the playground. Like I see guys getting chased down. I see guys getting beat up. I see like, especially coming up during the '90s, during the crack era. Like I was able to see what was actually going on around me and knew what was going on around me. I wasn't just there just being alive. I knew exactly why certain things were happening. I see what was actually taking place. I realized the world was a dark place. I realized that any minute I could get killed, especially when I seen like a lot of my friends getting killed. Like I started realizing these things and these realities at an early age. So we are able to see what's there, even if we don't want to see it. Even if Scorpio turned our head and be like, "I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing." We see exactly what's going on. We're not the type that we're not oblivious individuals when it comes to the real world. It's hard for a lot of people to take the real world, understand it, but it's not how we're not trying to come off as these dark people or as these evil people all the time. Let me see. My moon is Scorpio. I'm able to understand. Okay, I was just making sure y'all can see me. I get along with Scorpios who are honest and straightforward. Yeah, because a lot of times, even when we're honest and straightforward, a lot of people don't. We still it still don't really help us a lot of times because a lot of people take it a certain way. A lot of people get angry with us, but as you start to get to know us and start to get to understand us, once you start to build that real bond, that real love with the Scorpio, you understand him. A lot of stuff that he say won't make you angry. A lot of stuff that he say you will understand because you will start to learn him. That's when you know that you're really close with him. When he doesn't, when things that would make you mad at first, you realize it's not even he's not doing anything wrong. That's when you realize you know that man because you understand him. If you a type that's always getting frustrated and confused about everything he does, it's because it's not always because he's a bad person or because he's being doing anything evil. A lot of times you're out of touch with him. Y'all need to take the chance to get to know each other. It's not always the other person either. A lot of times it's us. And I told you doing just like I told you is doing the cocoon stages. That's why we are quiet. You know what I'm saying? That's why we come off as being a certain way. So don't get frustrated. Don't get furious with him. He's growing. He's constantly changing. He's not going to stay that way for a long time. Some of them will, but the ones that are growing, if you already know that he's a good person, he has in his spirit. If you already understand him and have a deep understanding of him, then he will change. You will understand that he definitely will change for the better. I know if Scorpio don't want to deal, he okay. I read that. Hey, Charlie Brown, just to touch on that topic, particularly referring to Scorpio, if you all are not that oblivious, how is it some tend not to accept the good that's staring them right in the face? Because I told you when you go into the cocoon stages, it's not that he doesn't see. We see exactly what's right in front of our face, but if he's still in the cocoon stage and he's still evolving, he's going through turmoil. He's going through growing pains, and you know how growing pains are. They're extremely uncomfortable. They're extremely painful. It's extremely hard change. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely it's hard to let go. He's doing rearranging of his he's doing a whole rearranging of his life. So you got to understand that we see everything that's in front of us, but we know if we not a whole person, if we still trying to build, say for instance, it's like we're trying to build. It's like being a house. It's like think of a Scorpio as a house. It's like we if we know we in construction, it's like being a real estate agent. It's like Scorpio is like a real estate agent, and our relationship and our love is a house, right? Our life is a house. Our house represents the life, right? Represents our life, our love, our relationships. So if the house is still under construction, if the house is still, if, even though it has a foundation, even though it has a wonderful build, and you know it's going to be a beautiful house once it's finished, if it's incomplete, how can you move anybody in? If it's incomplete, how can you let anybody come in comfortably? How can you know they're going to be safe? You know what I'm saying? You have to reevaluate, certain things. You have to, map out the blueprints. We still got a whole lot. We still got to lay the bricks down. We still got to put a lot of floors in. We still got to put a lot of carpet in. It's so many pieces to the puzzle that he's trying to build during the construction stage, during the transformation stage, that if we're not complete, we're not going to put our load on anybody. But if we spiritual in the right place, we are very eager to jump into relationships once we know we are in the strong state of mind, in a real complete state of mind. That's when you know the Scorpio is ready, that he's in the right place. You'll see it. The all seeing eyes of Scorpio. We pay attention to everything. We see all things and details and others miss. Absolutely. Absolutely, Dwayne Jasper. But this is just a little something. I ain't gonna do my regular God bite thing. I don't know. Like, what y'all like this? Do y'all want to keep? I should keep this one up. I love y'all, man. I want to do something for y'all, man. Do you think I should keep it up? Yeah, did y'all enjoy it? I really appreciate all the love so much. Trying to see if any of y'all comment right quick before I get up out of here. But just that, I just want to break this down for y'all because I get so many emails about this situation, and a lot of them don't understand that they're. A lot of them don't even be in a bad place. A lot of them are just in a period of time where he's trying to get to know them, because a lot of y'all would tell me these short periods of time, 3 months, 3 weeks, 2 months. You know what I'm saying? 2 days. He's not that type of individual. It takes time. It takes time for us to build a bond with somebody. We're not those type of people that's going to come by night and leave by night. So we're not going to build our relationships, our love, our bonds, overnight, our trust overnight. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take time, because even the people that you do build relationships with fast, they leave just as fast. So we take our time. We like to get to know people. We build with people. So don't be impatient. A lot of times it just takes patience. Okay, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it up, Sky Lemon Hook. Yes, this conversation topic is great. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Keep it up, God body. Sidebar may have a wrench. Okay, sure. Because a lot of my moderators not here no more, so I definitely add you here. I appreciate all the love. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know a lot of people watch it. It's a busy Saturday or whatever, but I still had to stop what I was doing because I really love y'all. I really love doing this. A lot of people be like, Scorpios, they full of themselves. It's nothing like that. We very unselfish. We're very loving, very giving people, but we have to know that that person's there with us 100% before we can give that love, before we can show that love. You know what I'm saying? That's why in the first few periods of time that you know the Scorpio man, that he might become off as being apprehensive, being distant, because we're totally honest. Even if we're bluntly honest, you know what I'm saying? We're totally honest. We try to, we don't lead people on. If we with you, we're with you all the way. You know what I'm saying? And you got to understand that once this stage is over, once the pooper stage, once the cocoon stage is over, you're gonna get the best. That's when you're gonna get the phoenix. That's when you're gonna get the eagle. That's when he's gonna be more sociable. That's when he's gonna be more ready for relationships. That's when he's going to be more patient. That's when we start to learn more. That's when we're going to start being more extroverted and talking to other people, just like I'm doing with y'all. Like I couldn't. 4 years ago, I would have never ever did anything like this. I would have been like somebody told me. My friend told me the a couple of years ago. He like man, what about you doing something like that? I'm like, man, you crazy. That ain't never happened. But look at me now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he probably seen it coming anyway, but I didn't see it coming. But realize that your knowledge is invaluable. You are truly blessed. Thank you so much, Charlie Brown. But I love y'all. Big kiss, pounds to all the brothers out there. I love y'all, you know what I'm saying? I love y'all. Thank you so much to all the ladies, all the fellas. I really, really appreciate all the love. Thank you so much. Please continue to like, support my videos. If you haven't watched it, make sure you watch all my old stuff. Make sure you like the videos. Please subscribe, share. I appreciate it. Show some love if you can. I thank you so much. I appreciate it. I will be back soon. Y'all support this video. Show me some love. Don't leave your boy hanging. I appreciate it. I love y'all. And I will be back soon. Peace. Y'all have a wonderful weekend too. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Ginger. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. And I'll be out.